That was by far the longest we've ever gone.
Let's just see how far we can go.
I'm starting to sweat.
Starting to get nervous. People are going to turn the episode off and think there's something wrong with it. Oh man.
It must be frozen.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Something's wrong. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to what we learned this week.
Guess what episode
Guess what?
is?
Guess what?
Guess what?
Guess what?
Dude.
Guess what?
It's a fucking year.
We've been doing this a full year.
We've
today.
made it a whole ass year in this show.
Whole ass.
What's an
A
ass year?
whole ass year. And that was a leap year that we made it through even.
Dude.
What was that?
Feels
what
good.
was that noise?
Doesn't that mean
It feels good.
that just means that there's one extra day though?
Yeah. No, well apparently to Drake that changes
Look,
the
we're
weeks
trying
of the
to
year.
figure that out, okay? Context.
It's 52 weeks in a year. But well, it was a leap year, so I didn't know if there was another week or not.
Oh yeah, it's a leap week.
Yeah, no, Drake, it's still a leap year.
It's a leap week.
There's just one extra day. It's still just a normal 52-week year. But it's okay.
Man.
We forgive you for that.
Thanks.
But no, thank you guys so much for joining us again on what we learned this week.
Yeah.
A whole year
A whole
down.
fucking year,
I
man.
mean, this is nuts. I would have never seen us making it this far.
Did we mention that it's been a whole year?
Did we mention that? Yeah. So before we start the show with anything else, I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to all of our lovely, lovely Patreon members that have joined us and who have made this show what it is and who have helped us through all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And we appreciate all of you.
Yes, the thick and the thin.
So, quick shout out. Drake, go ahead. List the names for me.
So, Carmen,
Boom.
Justin,
Boom.
Mandy,
Boom.
Sean,
Boom.
you guys, Nicole,
Boom.
Day Oneer.
Day oneers. All
You
five
guys
of you.
have been absolutely phenomenal, just fucking sticking around with us and allowing us to make these expanses. I mean, the fact that we can do this at home now is directly because of you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys have helped this process expand and become better and better and better. With, I mean, you know,
just go back to like episode 1 where we started.
Dude.
We're
20 feet away from that location.
Watch all of our videos like 5 times over.
Just go, just go listen to episode 1. Just listen to like the first 10 minutes, and you can hear the quality change from now until then. Like from that, and that was literally, you can't resist. It was right over there where we recorded our first episode.
Yeah,
call it the casting couch, if you will.
They recorded
in the closet.
In the closet.
No, that was a couple episodes later. Our first episode was in the living room, and we had a 1 USB microphone, and we just sat on the couch and drank.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
And talked about just
maybe I missed
shit.
that one because I think I just only started on the ones that were in the closet. So.
Oh yeah, no, episode 1. It was called.
Well, it should have been called No Penetration.
Nope.
But
couldn't have given me that before. No, it was MySpace something.
Yeah, it was like a MySpace rant.
Yeah. Well, no, it was actually a rant about people not looking what they should look
the
like.
Angles, the MySpace angles.
MySpace angles.
I would actually totally be fine with having MySpace be the primary social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
you get music, you do a background. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
choose your top 5.
You were learning how to do HTML coding.
Hell yeah.
Dude, honestly, it's fucking crazy shit.
But no, so yeah, again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank
it means
you for
the fucking world.
Support.
Yeah, and the continuous backup and the continuous, just feedback that we've gotten from you guys has been so substantial.
Yeah.
And it's
just grown continuously, and we've never really hit like a plateau. We've hit points where it's like, okay, we're only, getting 1 or 2 subscribers or whatever, but we've never hit a point where it's like we're not getting any new traction at all. Right. There's always, every single week, there's been some sort of new traction, whether it's a new subscriber, a new person joining us on a live episodes. I'm fucking, what am I?
Canadian.
I'm Canadian now. I'm from the Canadians. Or like, new Patreon members. It's always been something that has just kind of boosted us up every single week, so it's awesome. It's been great.
It's just nice to see, like, you keep pushing forward on something, and it always works out for the best. You know, if you just keep pushing forward on whatever you're trying to accomplish. You know,
they are the Midas to our world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Well, cheers to you guys.
Salud.
A whole year.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Do we got Bailey's?
Cilantro. Yeah, we should.
I did have Bailey's, but I don't know.
Did shout out to Minhas Distillery over in Monroe.
Yeah,
because hand sanitizer.
No, yeah, they actually are doing that now.
Everybody's doing that, yeah.
But they also have really good handcrafted Irish cream.
Oh, nice.
So they basically make like vodkas and whiskeys and shit, but they're way cheaper than like regular vodkas.
Nice,
and
fucking sweet.
Dude. Check that out.
Nice.
So all right. So since we're on our year episode here, we'll talk about some quarantine topics a little bit later. But first, I want to get into. What was your guys' favorite episode to date that we have recorded on here? Come on.
That's a good question.
I think
favorite.
Okay. So I think what my favorite episode would be. I mean, there's been so many moments and so many
moments,
conversations that we've all had that has been stand out in your mind. I fucking died laughing. But I think my favorite episode was the birth of what I would consider one of our most impactful taglines, and that would be episode 25.
Sorry, Jake's mom.
There
it is. There it is.
And I love that's carried.
Yes, it's just it played out, and it's so funny because to this day, if I say something, because me and my family always make fucked up jokes. If I go to my house and I make a fucked up joke, somebody always responds at that house with "Sorry, Jake's mom." And it's so good that we have that moment now that was created through this. It's so perfect that we have that tagline. We still don't have a collection of merchandise.
Oh, we should.
We
need to have hoodies with that. I would definitely buy a hoodie.
We'll be working on that.
I think one of my favorite episodes is what I have to say. We had a crap ton of fun conversations on this one, but the tagline "Rip it and grip it" was.
Oh, grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
Is that the which? Is it the?
I think it was what, like 20?
Is that when Drake was doing this?
Yes.
Was it that episode?
Yes,
that was a good one. That was a good one. Grip it and rip it. Oh, this is fucked up. This is a fucked up episode.
That was a fucked up episode.
So bad.
So I've got a couple here.
Yeah, what you got?
Number one for me would have to probably be. Use the show notes. I think it was episode 42, and that was the episode where Drake brought up the really fucked up story of how bad karma can be, and how a man lost his balls, and we didn't want to laugh, but at the same time, it became one of the greatest conversations to ever be had on this show. Like, it just was so perfect.
He doesn't have any balls.
But he doesn't have balls. Oh, that episode was so fucking good. I was crying. And then the other one for me, and this one was way early on, and I don't know why, but it just still, I think it's the title of it mixed with what we were talking about, and it was just so perfect segueing into the topics. Episode 2. Milsim Fantasies and Robo Sex Brothels was just a quality fucking episode.
That was a top quality
through
name.
And through. Yeah. That episode was just top tier for sure. And then the little bonus episode I got, I think it would have been episode 10 or 9. I can't remember. When Walker joined us on the show.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I think
I was going to say that too.
Having you join us on the show was it added a new element to the show.
A natural element.
Yeah, rather than just two of us kind of shit talking back and forth, which would still be good, don't get me wrong, but it added this whole new element to the show of like bringing in a different viewpoint on a lot of the topics we talk about because we've known each other for so long. We know a lot of these topics. We know how most of the time we know how the other person's going to respond. Whereas now having a new face and a new person to be able to and we were friends obviously before the show. But it was just like you get to know somebody that much more.
Yeah, you have like a new perspective coming in on certain topics. Yeah, I completely agree.
So that was good.
And honestly, I've loved being on the show so far. Like this is great. It's always fun. It's my favorite part of the week.
Hell
so
keywords so far.
Well, and the best part,
don't fuck it up,
topic, man.
The best part too, for those of you that don't know, so the best part about this show was Walker was never. This is what made it so good. Is Walker was never intended to be a host. I mean, it was supposed to be one of our first. He was supposed to be our first guest. I remember it was our first episode.
I remember that.
We were like,
conversation.
"Hey, we're here. You're here. Why don't you just hop on the show with us for this episode?" You know, because we were going to record in the studio.
Because we were talking about Talk Tour.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, taking it back.
Yep.
And so we were like, "Yeah, why don't you just hop in for an episode or whatever?" And then just over time, it just became like. Yeah, he's integrated into the show now.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't, like we don't run the show without the guy
and
now.
Into our lives.
And into our lives. So that's my sappy moment.
I'm like herpes. You can't get rid of me.
That's my sappy moment.
It was a crazy vacation.
So yeah, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate
I've had
it, guys.
a great time.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Here's to another, at least one more year of this shit.
Lots of porcelain clanking today.
Lots of porcelain. We're gonna break a mug with a mugs on it.
Another one.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So anyways, you guys should leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite episode was or your favorite moments. You could just tell us your favorite moments that you can remember from the episode.
Or you could just tell me how much you love me. I mean, that works too.
You just get down on your knees now and tell me how much you love me.
Oh,
Call me daddy.
Please don't. I hate that. I have 2 little girls, and it's weird.
It's ruined for you forever, isn't it? It's ruined for you.
It's like, oh, daddy. No. My name's Walker.
No, baby.
You can call me Babe. You
call
me Hans.
Emperor Palpatine.
You do not call me Dad.
You can call me Gandalf the Wise. That is it.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's super funny. That was when I first met my buddy Marky from work. It's the same guy that told me the story about the nuts guy. There was one of the first things, and this guy, he's far ahead of my generation. He's a working class man. He was an army cook. Mm-hmm. Like, dude has lived a pretty crazy life, and that was one of the first, and I will say it in honesty, like that was one of the first thing that dude ever said to me. He's like, "Morning, daddy." Whoa! And like I looked at him. And like, it's a doc. You're gonna say some weird shit. Yeah. But like I looked at him and was like, no, dude.
Don't ever fucking say that again.
You don't fit the demographic to be able to call me that. That's not no.
In your head, you're like, I have the weirdest boner.
Externally, it showed, but
I think it's all about how the person says, like, obviously not another guy, but like, which is fine.
I mean, whatever floats your goats.
Yeah, whatever floats your goats and your balls.
Ghosty,
whatever. But I think it's how it's said. If you overuse it, it loses its
tang.
Yeah, exactly.
Say
but
tang
if it's
again.
used, if it's used in the right manner, you're like, oh, all right, well. Because bury your head in a pillow.
Initially, when that first became like a fab, like. Because I understand like the dom and the sub relationships are like slave and master.
Yeah.
So like I understand that parameter. But when that started to get used, like I even on an external, like hearing someone like call their father like daddy, like that was always the imprint.
Weird to you, right?
It was the imprint in my head that I was like,
it wasn't happening to you.
Like you're 35, like why are you calling your dad daddy?
Right.
Like I don't understand. Like because I've heard males call their dad daddy.
Oh yeah, but that's really weird.
And I think
people still do that.
Well, actually, I think it might be like a regional thing too, because in the South they do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that's
daddy
true.
or paw or like any of that stuff. So I guess it's like the terminology. So like that's what the correlation for me has been. And then once that started getting popular to where people started getting more comfortable with it, and the first time I got called, I was like, what the fuck?
Could you imagine if somebody called you Pa?
I was just going to say, we're too high class here. You don't call me daddy, you call me Pa.
You call me Pa.
Nail it home, Paul. Got it, bitch.
No, thank you.
You got it, baby.
Get that Laura Ingalls shit out of here.
She's calling me daddy. She's getting called bitch.
Oh, God, man. I love it. Well, that's not where I saw this conversation going. That is for sure. Sorry, Jake's mom.
Sorry, Jake's mom.
But anyways, so yeah, we've talked about our favorite episodes the whole year, all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
We're still in quarantine, as all of you can tell.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. I'm going a little stir crazy at this point. I shaved my beard off, so I'm definitely going. I've lost it. Yeah. I have fucking lost it.
We're running out of food. I think pretty soon we're gonna have to eat Jake. So
I have the least amount of meat on my bones. I just want to just point that out right now. If anyone's gonna help us survive the longest, it's not.
But I'll also
meat.
crush everybody. So.
You're not gonna be able to crush me from 15 feet away.
I've got a good like 90 pounds on both of you.
I was gonna say I saw a picture or I saw a video the other day, and it was like a little skit that somebody did, and it was like, some dude like was talking shit to this younger kid, and kid's like, "Oh fuck you, my dad's like my dad's a bodybuilder. He's like 285 pounds. He'll fucking destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like a skinny, like me almost, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, fine, bring him. And he's like, all right, I will. So you see like the dad start walking. He goes, hey, what the fuck were you? And he just pulls a gun and shoots him and walks away.
What the fuck?
But you know, like that, I don't know. I feel doing like tying off the bodybuilder thing. Like there is a level of girth as an individual that like just if you're like a bigger person, you know, like if I was at a bar, didn't know you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick a fight with you, even if you were a fucking raging asshole.
Hell no.
The only time there'd be an interaction because I'm very confident in myself, but just the difference in stature, like
there's a reason there's weight classes.
I couldn't get in a certain ranging of you because I know I would get grabbed.
Yeah.
And once I'm grabbed,
you're dead.
if
You're
I can't
fucked.
break that, like I'm done.
Knowing me and knowing my personality, if I walked into a bar and I saw a motherfucker looking like him, my immediate reaction
You're
is,
now our buddy.
I'm going to make friends with that guy because if shit hits the fan, that guy's going to kill somebody.
Yeah, like
Is that why I'm
what
here?
do we? No,
You guys can talk shit about people and nobody's gonna pick a fight.
Exactly. We bring you out to the bar. You're more of our protection.
I'm your Glock.
You're our
the
Glock.
silent gladiator. But like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk shit? Have you met my buddy Walker over there?
but like with that stature, like there, I think that there's a huge difference, at least personally, between someone that is large, like they are larger than life. There is a clear substance and there is a clear stature that is there versus someone that has become just this fucking jacked bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I will say I am much more intimidated by someone
a
that
big
is
dude.
naturally
Larger, yeah.
versus someone that can't touch their hands together behind their back or get something off the middle of their traps.
Now,
It's the mobility
the
factor.
only way that I would say that you're wrong is if they're not only jacked but an athlete.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Like
yeah.
if they're a football player
Yeah.
or like any sport
Yeah.
in sports, and that motherfucker's definitely flexible.
Oh, for
and
sure.
he's big.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm probably not fucking with
But
that
just
ever.
first glance, I am less intimidated, which it takes a lot to intimidate me when it's coming with strangers. But like, if I see someone and like do the threat check or whatever, like, okay, yeah, this person is like, I could clearly fuck me up or like I have a chance, that kind of thing. Like someone who is completely like overly jacked, like just fucking shredded. I'm less intimidated of that than I am with someone that is just naturally like just their bone structure and everything else is larger.
Oh, right.
You
For
know.
sure. I get that.
See, that's not a natural instinct though, because I used to bounce when I was in college. I used to work at two different restaurants. One is like a nice jazz club, and the other was a stupid ass college bar.
Of course.
So I would do the college bar during the week, and then the jazz club in the weekends. But
Smart.
during the week, the football teams and shit would be going out for like trivia night or whatever, and they'd just be getting hammered.
It's
at
always
this
the
bar.
small ones you got to look out for.
Oh no. Well, there's a couple small ones that would always be shit faced that would try picking a fight, and you'd get punched every once in a while. But it was the big ass football players that really pissed me off.
Oh, like the linebackers?
Oh my god. There was this one guy actually that was so drunk that he meant to hit this dude, ended up punching his girlfriend in the face.
Oh shit!
Because like
She's
she was
dead.
like right here,
She's fucking
and the guy
dead.
was like right here, and he went like this and went all the way around, knocked this girl out.
Oh,
And
she's got CTE.
yeah.
That's for
So,
sure.
so I had to go and get this like 400-pound linebacker out of this bar, and I did not go back to work for a couple of weeks after that because my ass was handed to me.
All the muscles
Because
are pulled.
my ass was literally handed to me on a platter. That's
Oh my
awesome.
god, he was literally like 400 pounds. It was
That's
insane.
brutal.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's
why
a
I made
lot of-
friends with those
so
ones in
that's a
college.
lot
So I
man.
stopped bouncing.
My two best friends in college, biggest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
Dude.
And I don't want to say there was a reason behind it, but subconsciously there was probably some reasoning behind that. But no, they're cool guys. Shout out to John Mark.
Dude.
What a dude.
What a dude.
And Gavin. Shout out to you too. So anyways, I had another question for you guys, and this kind of relates back to the whole quarantine thing.
Yes, I am single.
All right. I knew it. We've gotten to this point. So, as many of you have probably already heard, the government finally passed a fucking bill. God damn it. I could go on for an hour about them. Finally passed a bill that allows for us to get stimulus checks, right? Forgivable checks that don't count against us in our taxes, all that fun shit, right? $1,200. That's what they're giving the average person. Sorry. We talked about that last week, I know.
Yeah.
So, all right. In the scenario, you are getting a check, okay?
Oh, technically, it's just getting taken away.
Right. So, okay, in this scenario, you get to keep this check, okay?
Technically.
With that $1,200 check, let's say all your bills are paid, you're still working like we are, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. What is what are you spending that check on irresponsibly?
Irresponsibly?
What's that check going towards for you guys?
I mean, I wouldn't call it irresponsible, but I just desperately need a new computer. Because you've seen mine just falling apart.
All right.
And I left it and shit.
Yeah, you can get a good computer.
Yeah.
For fucking
really fucking good computer for
$1,200.
$1,200.
this only cost me $15.
I would probably spend $800 on a new computer, and then probably spend the rest on
Software and accessory. Really
I don't
cool
want to
mouse.
say booze, but
but a lot of booze. But
Priorities.
A lot of booze.
yeah, I don't know. Probably just a lot.
Hookers,
of booze.
maybe hookers and blow.
Hookers
that
and
might be
blow.
it.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many hookers and blow?
Well, I don't think you want to pick up any
$400?
hookers nowadays, man. They got the
yeah.
Rona.
They got Rona.
They got the big sick.
Oh god.
Probably just gamble it, you know.
For sure.
Whatever.
Online slots?
Gamble it
Fuck
away,
yeah.
dude.
Oh,
Because you never
I
know.
never would do online slots. No.
Because it's too easy to corrupt.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those
Actually.
percentages are pretty twisted.
For sure.
There was a whole
I'd be out there playing some
chain
Baccarat.
of dude. Oh man.
Dude, what?
Oh, I'd be out there playing Baccarat.
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
Best
All right.
odds in the casino.
There you go. What about you? How you spending that money? Irresponsibly.
I'd buy I got a decent TV right now, but I would buy a fucking solid
Projector.
display. Well, no, I want to make that transition because my TV's pretty old.
Yeah.
Like that was like one of the first
It's
things
a
I
huge
purchased.
TV though,
yeah,
dude.
it's like a 74.
Yeah, it's fucking
Jesus, something like
giant.
that, yeah.
It looks so hilarious in his
It
room.
is
It's the
because
biggest thing in his room.
it's just on this fucking little like end table.
That's right, because I saw that in there that one time. I brought it out here for the Blair Witch Project stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'd either get a new TV, just like a display one that's like a 4K, that kind of thing, to be able to experience that since I got the new gen stuff coming out.
Mine was only.
yeah.
I think when I bought mine, I have the Samsung Curve.
Yeah.
And it's the 4K, obviously. I think mine was only like $700 or $800.
Shit.
So it was pretty cheap. It's like a 60-some inch.
You said next gen stuff. I think that I would spend half mine on a computer and the other half on pre-ordering a PS5.
Oh, you're going PlayStation 5,
Oh
huh?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright,
I'm a
there you go.
PlayStation boy at heart, so
I dig it. I dig it.
That's cool. That's cool.
I got
I'll
appreciation for
accept
that.
it.
Yeah.
I still have my PS1
Yeah.
Spyro the Dragon,
Oh,
Crash
hell
Bandicoot
yeah, hell
games, all
yeah.
that kind of shit.
So, all right. So you get a new TV. You're still going to
Um,
have some money left over.
And then a bunch of accessories for the yak.
Oh, there
That's
you
it.
go. Yeah.
Like, I want to deck that fucking thing out.
Yeah.
For the what?
The new kayak.
Did you
that
see
he
my new
got.
Oh,
kayak?
for the yak. Yeah,
Oh, it's
gotcha.
so
Yeah.
fucking badass. I love it.
I was like, did you buy like an animal, like a yak? Like,
Yeah.
It just roams out in the
I wanna
fields.
deck out my
I got
yak.
a whistle.
His name's Bob. He comes when I call him.
did you like rent a shepherd to go?
Rent a shepherd.
No, he is a shepherd.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me,
Got my stick.
I would probably buy a new camera for this to be able to record, and then just for everything else. But that would only be like $600, $700. The rest of the irresponsible money would probably go towards. Man, the yak stuff sounds pretty good actually, but is that irresponsible? I think that's a responsible thing because you got to deck out the kayaks.
We
you know
have
what I mean?
responsibilities to our group
To deck them out.
out.
Ooh, tattoos would probably be a big one that my money would go towards.
Yeah.
See, I don't have any tattoos, so I don't know if I could do that. But I would probably actually get a new
$1,200 would be the perfect way. No.
I'd probably put a down payment on a new
irresponsible,
car.
Honestly, yeah.
irresponsible, not
Yeah.
responsible. Irresponsible ways.
I didn't say what I'm going to do with the car.
Fucking.
I'd be out there selling drugs and whoring myself out.
Oh
It's a
shit.
mobile trap lab.
Trap. I just buy all the
Delivery
ingredients.
gigolo.
I just buy all the ingredients for meth, and then probably just figure out what we do from there. You know what I mean? Like,
Probably make meth.
yeah.
I
I'm not
would,
saying
dude.
I
I would.
not saying I wouldn't.
No, that's wrong. That's morally wrong.
What?
I would buy all the ingredients overseas for like illicit drugs, just individually, just on a webbed version, so it couldn't be traced back, and then I would send them to just random addresses.
The politicians.
Or just a random.
Amazing.
Like I think that would be
Amazing.
the most twisted thing I'd ever
But
do.
you have to get it like wholesale. Like you have to get like a fuck ton of it.
Oh yeah.
So like,
oh yeah.
it just shows up like some
Surplus.
politician that you don't like. It's like, oh, why do I have like 5,000 pounds of this shit at my house?
Oh my god, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
sodium glycol. What the fuck is this?
So that's a good It's a good way to spend some irresponsible money. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So if this comes to like an apocalypse thing, though, not that it will, because we're not at that point yet. But let's say this goes let's say this goes postal, right? Goes straight up apocalyptic, right?
Yeah.
How long you think you guys are lasting?
Oh, I got this.
The rest of my life, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
The rest of your natural born life?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a fun existence, but...
Well,
I can make it fun.
I think it'll be more fun. It's lawless.
well, yeah. Yeah.
Think about what you could do in a lawless society.
Yeah.
I'd be totally fine in a lawless
I would
wasteland.
immediately go in my car and just start doing fucking burnouts everywhere. I would start just... I don't even know. I'd run people over. I'm just kidding.
But no, I guess, yeah, with like a government-based breakdown, there would be a lot of freedom. You could just do whatever the fuck you want.
I go kayak.
And it would be on a communal judicial system. So, like, your community would decide what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah, and I would immediately go and steal somebody's boat.
Yeah.
Like a motor yacht or something, or a sailboat.
Yeah.
Like we talked about with the zombie apocalypse. I'd immediately steal
Coast
that.
out.
And then I'm out, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going.
If we're going full zombie apocalypse, I'm...
No, I'm not talking zombie. That was just because I brought it up in zombie.
Even
but if we are, okay.
Even if it's not a zombie apocalypse, I'm still going to do the Terminus thing where they put up signs for Terminus, and then anybody that comes into my area that is looking for sanctuary, I'm just going to eat them. So
solid. That's sustainability, man. Why grow crops when you just eat people?
I'm just gonna
there's
eat
sanctuary here, and then all my people are just cannibals, just hunting those people down.
I'm just gonna eat them.
Fuck him.
And I'm not gonna lie, like
Survival.
I've been researching into agricultural stuff just in case.
Yeah,
you know.
well,
dude.
I got a 35-minute bug out plan.
You know what actually pisses me off about that?
I have
is
my
that-
bug out bag planned and ready to go.
Did you guys see that Vermont is actually making it so you can't buy non-essential equipment?
Yeah.
Which means that anything that's not groceries you can't buy.
Yeah.
All right, so that
That's
means
the beginning of martial law, folks.
It's like gardening and like agriculture equipment you can't get either.
That's dumb.
Which is like, well,
yeah,
what
I
the
saw.
fuck?
Oh, yeah, I saw the signs on the seeds.
But alcohol is essential.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to keep them numb.
Wait, so
keep
so
them
the thing
stupid.
is, so they can't grow any crops to feed themselves. You can't buy board games for your kids. You can't buy coloring books or clothes or anything like that in Vermont right now. You have to get it ordered in and delivered
because
to
it's
you.
Vermont.
Well, the issue with that, I think, in a larger scale, is with that, like especially the board games thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you're taking away, or you're limiting a specific outlet for people. So like the puzzles, like I can't tell you how many times I've seen like one of the first 3 searches for like Amazon or whatever is like the 10,000 piece puzzles. Because it's idle hand shit. You're just sitting doing something. It's keeping you busy.
You got some background movie on or something, and you're just doing a puzzle.
Exactly. Like what happens? We'll couple down with alcohol being a necessity. What happens when you get a bunch of really fucked up people that have idle hands that you've had on lockdown for 6 months?
Oh, they're gonna eat each other.
Well, yeah, they're gonna go fucking crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Be throwing hands.
Also, speaking of eating people, I watched. I know we always talk about movies on this show, but it's my turn to bring one up now. I watched the movie The Platform on Netflix.
Oh, I've seen.
It is a foreign film, but it is very highly rated. It's a Spanish film, and so it's dubbed over, right?
Platform.
Yes, and they dubbed it over in English, and it's nice because they picked really good voice actors. Like, I don't know any of the voice actors, I don't think, but they picked good ones to play the characters, so you don't get, like, lost in the translation between it, you know?
I hate dubs.
So the plot of this movie is these people... you could call it a prison, but some people volunteer to go into this place because, you know, like some people might get like one guy was offered a degree for doing this for a certain amount of months. Okay. So what it is there is a lot of floors. I don't want to say how many because it's part of the plot or part of the story, but there's a lot of floors. All right.
To this prison.
Yes. And it's 2 people per floor. And it's on platforms. And in the middle of every single floor is a giant hole, like a rectangular hole cut out. So you can look all the way down and you can look all the way up, right? And through the middle of this hole is where the food comes on a platform. And at level 0, that's where they prepare all the food. They put it onto this platform, right? And it's all really gorgeous looking food. And if you ration it out, it could survive all the way down to the bottom level, right? And so this thing comes down to every level. It stops at every level for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, and then goes down to the next level. And the people below eat what the people above did not. Okay? Here's how it gets fucked up. is every month they turn on the gas, you go unconscious, and you get switched to a new level. So what happens is when you have people that overindulge, by the time you get to these bottom floors, they don't eat. There's nothing to eat. So when those people get brought up a floor or two, or
they're
up to
gorging.
Yeah, they're gorging because they know that next month they may not eat.
Yeah.
So they're trying to gorge themselves now, which creates this endless cycle of people not being able to eat.
That's interesting.
And talk about eating people. Guess what people are doing in there? Yep.
Damn.
And so if you so if one cellmate dies though, that person gets switched to gets partnered with a new cellmate.
Oh shit.
Keep them in the system.
Yeah.
and nobody knows how many levels there are.
Wow.
There's an assumption, but you don't know how many there are until like the end of the movie. And it gets really wild because there is a really interesting storyline behind. Like
that's really cool. That's a concept that
what I
could
think it is
seriously fucking enjoy.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a narrative about capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 100% sure that that's what it's about.
Well, that's
it's like the higher aboves get selfish and gorge, and which means the lower class, lower class has nothing left, and they become animals of society.
Yeah,
and it's like
doing what they need to in any means to survive that experience.
So it's a really fucking good movie.
That's
fantastic,
dude. Yeah.
Like you get
what's
lost
it on?
in Netflix.
Netflix.
Yep. You get lost in it like immediately. Like the you don't even. Probably 10 minutes in, you totally forget that it's dubbed over.
Wow.
Like you're just that engrossed in the narrative.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's fucked up. Like
of course it's gonna
gory
be fucked up.
and fucked up, but it's really good.
Well,
good
I mean,
movie.
like even that, dude, like that. Just the idea. I mean, one, locking people in a room for X amount of time is a bad idea.
Always.
It's just a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Just on a subconscious level. I mean, because if there wasn't moderation for that, or like not monetizing, but like a visage for the people in that room, that would get bad.
Well, and
quick.
here's the other crazy part is like every person when they get brought in is allowed one item to bring with them.
Okay.
Any item. They can bring anything with them that they want. Any item that they want with them. You can bring guns, you can bring knives, you can bring a surfboard, you can bring anything. Anything that you want. So that adds an interesting element as well.
That does, yeah.
So check it out. Definitely everybody check it out. It's a weird, fucking crazy movie, but really, really good.
That's a
really interesting concept.
What would you guys bring with you in that case?
Oh, but I've watched the movie.
No, just like, let's say like, you have to create something new that you can bring with, or like for your own personal situation. Like, I would probably bring a big ass hunting knife with me.
A book.
A book?
But I know the movie, so it's like,
do they?
I know how to
the
beat.
items?
I know how to beat the system. Yeah, it goes through a thorough process.
Gotcha.
But you can bring anything. There's nothing illegal.
You
can bring whatever you want.
Can I just bring food?
Yeah.
No, it has to be one item.
An endless food token.
One individual item.
One item. That's a tough one. Because I don't know. I guess my first impression of it, my expectation for what that scenario would feel like would be like a prison.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd bring like a bat or like an axe handle.
Smart.
But
don't bring bats. They give you corona.
Here's the thing. Also remember that there's people in this prison that could be much larger than you.
Oh, absolutely.
And you stand no chance against them.
Doubt it.
It's just... but that's tough. That's really tough.
And at some point, you have to sleep.
Yeah.
Remember that, too.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm bringing a book.
I'd feel like something just to pass the time. Yeah.
Here's the other part. Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna say anything else.
No, don't give any.
Don't
give any context. I'm gonna watch this today.
It's fucking good. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. So, anyways, off the movie topic. Sorry. So back onto the apocalypse scenario, right? Did I say how long I'd last? 2 years. 2 years. 2 years is what I'm saying.
2 years.
Few minutes.
I'm just kidding. No, I think I'd last quite a while. I'd make it work for myself.
Yeah.
But what is the way that you would want to go out in that scenario? Like, how are you like wanting that demise to happen? If it's not old age, like what's killing you off?
Snoo.
Really? Is she gonna kill you like during, or like do you have a brain aneurysm that explodes mid coitus?
That's probably the best way to do it.
That's the best way.
Upon completion, because if
gone.
you don't complete, there's no point.
Yeah, you hit
So-
the vinegar strokes.
Oh my god, I'm gonna complete.
Imagine imagine eternal.
Terminate life.
Imagine eternal.
I could have phrased that differently. That wasn't right.
Eternal O.
Yeah.
Just like that's your last
Ooh.
memory. It's just
That's a straight
That's a
way to go
good
straight
memory.
to
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Yeah. You guys wouldn't
last
believe how I
moment.
died.
how about you? What's your way of going out?
Oh man.
Oh wait, yeah. Would they kill you or like how you like? What do you mean during coitus?
I don't know. Just die.
All right.
It's so good that
Heart
his head
explodes.
literally just explodes.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be traumatizing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
It's the apocalypse. Nobody cares. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'd probably. I'd probably just kill myself. Like that's how I would go out.
Well, that's fun.
I'd last out until as long as I could, and then just okay,
Just
that's
end
enough.
it. All right,
That's enough
cool.
for me.
I've had fun. I'm out.
If there's a realization that there's no, and I'm thinking like dystopian, like shit is done.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
over,
it's
dude.
not
Like there's
coming
no
back. There's no comeback.
community
Yeah,
yet.
it's
You know,
done.
like I'd give it as long as I could possibly fucking run it, and
You're
then
out.
I'm out.
All right.
Audi 5000.
How about you?
I'm going out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
So if I go, then everybody that is causing the negative shit's going too. So
Dude,
taking them out.
So you're
I
gonna
can
martyr.
respect that.
You're gonna be a martyr.
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right.
I can
that's cool.
respect that.
There'd be a statue for you for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
For
what I'm going
sure.
for.
Made out of like
So-
trash cans and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they'd like
yeah.
tack welded together.
Because I'm expecting full Mad Max here, so I want to have something really crazy going on. So
Mad Max or
I'd become a
the,
bullet baron then.
what
Fuck
about-
that. I'm not dying.
What about what's the other movie with Jason Momoa? The Bad Batch.
Oh, where everybody's blind.
oh no, that's that Apple TV show.
Yeah.
No,
Bad Batch is that's where everybody's. But Bad Batch is it's basically this place out in the desert, and it's a prison.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody gets sent there if they do something wrong,
Yeah.
and it becomes this dystopian society, and pretty much everybody's a cannibal.
So it's like California.
Yeah, it's in California. I'm pretty sure actually,
Oh god.
and it's televised.
Are you talking about the book California? Or,
Huh? No, I was just
okay.
talking about the state.
So yeah, watch that too. It's called The Bad Batch. It's got Jim Carrey plays a pretty important role.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa and a couple other good name people. It's good.
Actually, it sounds
It's
really
interesting.
reminiscent of Escape from L.A. Kurt Russell.
Oh,
Call me
yeah.
Snake.
Yeah,
Snake Plissken.
I see that. Yeah, I don't know how
So
I
it's like
would
a
want to
prison
go out.
island.
Yeah. Everybody in LA looks like that already. So.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to be the end of my demise, though. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want somebody else to
No.
control that. I think I want to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
I want to control the way that I go out.
For
So,
sure.
You know, so if somebody else takes me out, I want that to be on my terms still.
What do you want to
somehow.
be like? What's your go-to, like, say you're in a dystopian society, right? Or not dystopian, but an post-apocalyptic society. So there is communities, right?
Yeah.
Say I'm a new person. I'm rolling in to this new society, this new community, right?
Mhm.
I meet you. What is your job in that community? What
To
do
eat
you
you.
do? what do you contribute to that community? Are you like
The guitar guy in a raiding party.
so you're a bard?
Oh, we're talking like roles now.
I'm gonna be the Negan or the governor of the situation.
Negan. I'd definitely be a Negan. The governor's a dickhead.
All right, so you'd be the ruler.
I'd be a part of raiding parties.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
a cool one.
I'd be
That's a
for
good
it.
one. It's a good one. How about you?
I think I'd want to be the Negan guy, but I don't know if that's really me. I would try to be.
I just think there's a big target on your head.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I don't know
You
if I
what
like
mean?
that. So maybe I'm just like the drifter dude, the guy that kind of keeps to himself for the most part and take
The
care of-
Wanderer.
Yeah,
Like a Book of Eli
yeah,
sorts.
yeah,
Or like,
there
exactly.
you go.
Yeah, I think drifter would be good.
That'd be cool.
But that's also if my kids weren't around or something as well.
No,
You know,
for
'cause,
sure,
Like
for
if I
sure.
had kids, that'd be a totally
Well,
different
yeah,
story,
yeah.
So
The Wanderer would be cool, or the guy that has that incorporated or not incorporated, but somehow took over the mansion that was left behind, and
Yeah.
now just throws giant drug orgy parties.
Mhm.
You know, like a rave, just a nonstop
Yeah.
drug orgy rave.
Fuck it, everything's going to hell
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. Like, why not just fucking
Yeah.
let's just do it. Let's just go coitus all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
have your mind explode.
Yeah, just
Dude.
why not? I'd go that route.
Mind expands.
Because
Tons of
who's mad?
amphetamines.
Who's gonna be mad? Who's gonna be mad at the guy that's
Throwing
trying to
orgies.
keep?
But there's
the-
always
the
going to be
party
guys that
orgies
like,
going.
give me your drugs. And be like, hey, town next door.
But here's the
Keep these
thing.
guys away from me.
But here's the thing. I'll give them drugs. Okay, here, have some drugs. I don't give a shit. Take them.
How
You
long?
gonna rob me? What are you gonna take? Money? I don't have any. You gonna take drugs? Here you go. I'm
Give them the
freely
drugs,
giving them
and then
out
they're
to
about to take that dick.
you. Yeah.
That's
All right.
Sherlock Cosby.
All right. Interesting.
Not like fucking.
Just joking.
Or they
You party them up, they get crazy.
Right.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. Not like fucking drug them.
Then
God damn.
It was easy.
Let's
it was
calm
easy,
it down there,
easy
Bill
target.
Cosby.
No, don't ever call me that again.
Okay, all right. So,
its mouth.
so seeing that we're in this quarantine situation right now,
Yeah.
how far along do you guys think it is that we're going to start having districts like the Hunger Games?
Oh, I give it a month.
I mean,
I'm just kidding. But seriously, in all actuality, 6 months. If we have to stay on lockdown for 6 months or more,
It's gonna get
we're going to
wild.
start to see a real breakdown in society.
there's already people starting to break down from this.
Yeah.
And it's only been like 5
Well,
weeks.
Texas
see
Texas had
madness.
like 3 different malls that I
Yeah.
saw that got busted into and looting, and like it amazes me what kind of perspective people have of, because I have a huge respect for anybody in the service. I have plenty of friends, plenty of family members that have joined and have served, and with localized branches like in the National Guard, that was one of the biggest things that I had saw and taken away from those videos is no one is afraid. When they seeing a dude in full uniform, urban uniform, okay, that alone stands out to me like, away from that guy. Get away from that
Back
dude.
the fuck up.
Here's how I know. Well, go ahead.
But
Keep
they're
going.
carrying automatic rifles
Yeah.
and they're yelling at you, hey, stop.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue carrying a TV? Like, and they're standing at these doorways. The whole fucking front of this mall that they busted in is lit. One of the videos that I saw
People don't give
is
a shit.
lit up. But it's like, I wonder what would happen. Okay, so you're a looter in that scenario. You see the dude. You decide to disregard the guy who clearly has more power than you in this scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude guns you down.
Yeah.
Rebellion.
What happens?
Oh yeah, you got a rebellion on your hands now,
Dude.
Yeah, you've got mass. You've got the second one person is shot and killed
Oh, dude.
during this.
It's going to
by
explode.
someone in the military. It's
Yeah.
gonna just blow up. Everybody's gonna be.
And it's not going to be over the virus.
No,
It absolutely
it'll be
won't
over
be.
people.
It'll be over people
We've
being
talked
dumb.
about that before for
Yeah.
sure. I think for me, the second I see a dude rolling down the street with a Hawaiian shirt, short shorts, and a M14 in their hands, I'm gonna know. All right, it started. Time to get going. That is the sign of the boogaloo. And
the boogaloo.
I'm grabbing my Hawaiian shirt because I'm about to have some fun.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep, that's how I know. Because
That'd be the prerequisite of our tribe.
Those
we
are
all
the
have to wear
old
Hawaiian shirts.
those guys always. That's just so you all know. This is a hot tip for all of you. If shit breaks down in society, if you see a guy wearing that, the Hawaiian shirt is like the unspoken uniform for disgruntled vets
Yeah.
who just are ready to start the boogaloo. So if you see a dude that looks anywhere like that and has a Hawaiian shirt on, follow that man because he's gonna survive through this shit.
He's now reverted back to the bush. He's high on opiates.
Yeah, he's fucked up. He is,
And he's going for it.
he is back in Vietnam, and he's
Yeah.
never been to Nam, and he is just gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yep. And if he has a Roomba with a speaker following him that's playing "Welcome to the Jungle," definitely follow that man.
I'm in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
Oh my God.
Shit. No, I give it 6 months to a year. If it were to last that long,
Yeah.
that's when society, like, people are just gonna start doing stupid shit.
Yeah, we'd start to see that crumble happen.
So, if we go into a big depression over this,
I'm already depressed.
yeah, I know. Well, if we go into an economic depression,
I won't kid myself.
which I'm economically depressed, but
Which is happening.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is happening. But if we hit rock bottom with that,
Which we did in 2008.
yes,
Mhm.
which
Go on.
I believe that we're going to do again.
Yeah.
I believe that the military is going to be underfunded for this because they're going to be the ones that have to come in here and help.
Never
Keep
gonna
things in order.
happen.
no.
No?
We-
You
Look
don't
at who
think
the
so?
president
think-
is. They will never
No, no,
be
no, no,
on it.
I'm
They will pull money from every other resource. He's even said it.
You think
Like
so?
he said it on national television. He said, like, this is our primary objective, because somebody asked him if he's willing to cut military funding. He's like, why would we ever cut military funding when those are the ones that are going to keep you people safe
Yeah.
and are going to keep everything in order. Like
Yeah.
that's what he said. He's like, I'm not cutting the funding to that.
No.
If anything, I'm going to add more funding to it because that's what we need. That's what they're here for. Is for national security and for international security. Like we need those guys no matter what.
And it's
whether you agree with him or not, that's the decision the man's made.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with that decision. I just thought that like that would be like because that's always like the most expensive part of the national budget.
It's the most
you figure that they would probably
thing.
cut that a little bit just to maintain.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's getting funded.
Well, and
for
it's
sure.
the craziest part about that, and this is completely subjective because I've only seen a handful of accounts, but more and more, at least within the past week or so, people are coming out and saying that they've been, they're working in the healthcare industry, have been let go from hospitals and
They've been let go.
Like immediate care and stuff like that. And
where have you been seeing that at? Because everywhere I've seen, they are dying for staff.
See, and that's
they're asking
why
retired people to come back.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you say that, my sister, like she's the travel nurse down in Hawaii. Her hospital let her temporarily off right now.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get another job. Looking at other hospitals and stuff. Nobody's hiring.
That's so weird. I don't understand it. Why would you not?
Yeah, I wonder what that fluctuation's like.
It's the most crippled system right now.
She's been out of work for like 3 weeks.
So. That's so weird to me because it's obviously the most hurting system or the most hurting
Yeah, you'd figure that you'd hire every nurse.
Yeah,
that's in that
you try and bring
area.
everybody in that you can because you need the manpower.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's weird.
Woman power too. Feminism.
Just need the power.
All right, white knight. Let's calm it the fuck down there.
A simp.
Little simp. Oh, I hate that fucking word. I don't know where it came from, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
And you don't fit that category at all.
No, you do. You're a simp.
No.
S-I-M-P.
Go ahead
simp.
and fuck yourself.
People were saying that iDubbbz was a simp. You're dumb. You're dumb. That man is a saint.
What? All right. So here's a crazy thing that I just thought of, and I don't know why this came to my head, but I saw it the other day because it has nothing to do with anything we've talked about. If you say muffins backwards, it's what you do after you take them out of the oven.
Sniff them. That was good. That was really good. That was.
It's like they planned it.
What the fuck? Sniff them.
It's amazing. I learned that this week, and my mind was fucking blown. I was like, oh my God. 10 out of 10 Illuminati confirmed, folks, because this is real life.
That is the highest quality.
And you know what? That's my fact of the week for you, folks. There it is. Smelling muffins backwards saying muffins backwards is exactly what you do when you take them out of the oven. Fact of the week. Quoted here. Boom. Sniff them.
Sniff them.
And this is officially my final podcast.
Man, I got red. That was good. That was a good one.
So stupid. I love it. Anyways.
That was pretty.
1 year in and we're still fucking stupid as ever.
Dude.
I love it.
Going strong.
What else?
We're
do
the
we
Picassos of stupid.
Do we need to make any other commemorations to previous episodes? We've got Sorry Jake's mom. We brought that one back in to this episode. What else have we done in previous episodes where we can
Well, I think kind of
shine some light on
away from episodes, in the extra credit shows and stuff like the live stuff that we do.
Yeah.
I think hands down, we've had a lot of really good conversations with interacting with the community and everything else, and I think still to this day, I think one of the funniest and most eye-opening, at least for like the community, because we've always mentioned the ability to discuss and to talk about things. If you have opposing perspectives or opposing opinions, to have discussions openly, they may get intense or exacerbated for a little bit, but that just shows passion, I think, as an individual, where you're not fighting with someone. You're talking back and forth.
Side, Which episode?
It was one of the. You were with us already.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5 or 6. You and I got onto a discussion that got heated.
About what?
It was something philosophical.
Oh.
It was something like very broadly philosophical, to where there was no exact direction.
Oh yes,
And
yes.
we
Because I
went
kept
back and forth,
questioning you.
yeah.
Because I was like, no, you're fucking wrong
Yeah.
because you can't answer that question technically
Yeah.
because nobody's able to answer that question. Yeah. Didn't I bring up the chair argument in that one?
What makes a chair a
What makes
chair
a
and
chair a chair? What
Yeah.
makes a table, and how do you differ between the two?
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
That was like 5 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, and I think
it was really early on.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite moments in those recordings, just because like that was something that we're used to, and we're used to having those mentalities when having those discussions, but to someone else, and I learned that perspective from feedback, was like, whoa, like you guys are what's up with the fighting?
Like,
it wasn't
we're not
fighting, dude. It was just like talking back and forth about a philosophical something that isn't tangible, a philosophical idea or thesis, you know, like what that means for you and what direction you would take that and thought, like to rationalize
It was.
that.
Oh, I remember. Oh shit, we were talking about death.
No, we were talking about what
were
would
in the
make you
studio.
a cyborg. What would make you completely new?
Oh, that's right. It's the ship argument. So
Yeah.
it's how many, at what point, if you have a ship and you are replacing the ship, parts of the ship that break down with new parts, at what point does it become a new ship versus the old ship? Or
Yeah.
does it ever become a new ship
Yeah.
and not instead of the old ship?
Huh.
And his argument was that it becomes a new ship when you've replaced every part of the old ship.
Yeah.
But my argument to rebuttal that is, well, technically, the first part that you replaced is a part of that old ship now.
Mm-hmm.
That old ship stays on forever. It never becomes a new ship because there's parts that stayed an old ship.
Yeah,
Or that
Ooh,
became
I don't know.
part of
because
the
they're
old ship.
dispersed
Yeah.
and they're across
Yeah.
different locations.
And that's what we
Yeah.
thought about. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a good discussion. I
Yeah.
liked that one. That was good.
Yeah, I can see both sides, but I think I have to agree with that one where it's, if you have an original ship and you're just replacing parts on it, the original ship is still there.
Right.
You're just replacing one individual part
At a time, right.
So I would have to say, there's no turning that into a new ship.
Yeah,
See.
and discussions like that is what.
But then you could also
Really
say, well,
sparked that.
technically, there's no
Drake's just
parts.
like, "Fuck this."
No, because that was like, because even during like I was very enthusiastic about the conversation
Yeah.
because like it had gotten to the point where I remembered making that decision where it's like, okay, now I have to take this stance.
Yeah.
And now I have to try and play that devil's advocate to continue this conversation.
could
because
literally-
we
Okay,
broke
gotcha.
off into
Yeah.
like 3 different tangents.
Do you know what I've always thought we
And
could
then
do
fold
too,
back.
as like a new segment or a new show or something too, a different podcast more centered around something? Because we always hit on philosophical topics, I've always thought it would be fun for us to create a show where we picked one philosophy for the week and debated that philosophy back and
Ooh,
forth.
okay, that'd
I've
be
always thought that
interesting.
would be cool
Yeah.
because there's so many different ones you could play off.
Oh,
of.
yeah.
You can call up your old
So many
philosophy teacher to
Exactly.
hand
I
out
could
questions.
bring her on, and
Dude.
she can be the moderator for the questioning and
yeah,
everything.
like
Yeah, sits like right in the kitty corner.
We call it
Has a camera.
We call it what we thought this week.
What we thought this week.
Boom. There you go.
Philosophical Fight Club.
Philosophical Fight Club. Boom. There it is. No, I've always thought that because we always
that is really
end up
interesting.
getting into those conversations.
Yeah.
You know, they always end up being.
It's because
really
we're all in the
intense
midst
and
of an
good ones.
existential crisis.
Oh,
so.
Oh, I'm in the
for
middle
sure.
of it,
Oh,
man.
we're just on the downhill.
I constantly wake up as a new person.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
thought I
might
was
be
a-
a medical condition.
I thought I was at the peak of my existential crisis, but I realized that's actually the starting line.
Yeah, that's actually just the beginning.
you getting
Yeah.
revved up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit.
I've just been walking to the starting line of my existential
Yeah,
crisis.
exactly.
It's just going to take off.
exactly. So.
And you're looking vertically.
Oh, fuck, look at that.
And I also, just before we go here, I do want to give a quick shout out as well. We gave a shout out to the Patreon people, but I want to give a shout out to our people that come in and week out to our extra credit show and
Dude.
hang out with us and talk with us because that's our favorite part of the show. I love doing the extra credit show now because I always know there's going to be people there that, you know, talk to us and talk shit and everything. So Johnny, thank you for joining us. Adam, thank you for joining us. James, even though you're always late by 19 minutes, thanks for joining us.
Thirst Homeless? Oh,
the
man.
man, the myth, the legend himself. Like, Jesus Christ, you
Yeah.
ever want a fucked up conversation, Thirst Homeless is the guy to go to.
Yep.
La,
Really,
yes.
really glad that, you know,
Yeah, it was
We're
great
so
meeting you.
glad.
Safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
from all the way from France. You're
Yep.
our first international fan
Dude.
that I can think of. That's actually communicated with us at least.
Yeah.
Um,
Cundy for chiming in all the time.
Yes, always.
Dude.
And did I bring up Adam already?
You did.
Yeah.
And
always with his little
Stu
one-liners.
And guys, we definitely do appreciate all the interaction that we get with people.
Oh, yeah, it's our favorite part.
because that's so much fun to just read what you guys have to say.
And every time you guys like throw a comment on the videos and stuff, like I'm always super excited to like go and see what you guys said.
We're all scrambling to see what you said because we can't see the screen from this
we're all like,
far,
oh, we can't wait to see it. But no, we appreciate all of you guys as well. And then I also wanted to bring up before we go, I want to bring up some interesting statistics here from our Buzzsprout actually. So I was looking at that the other day. So for those of you that don't know, Buzzsprout is the host feed for the audio version of the podcast. That's where we started on. That's been our kind of our go-to thing. And it really breaks down the statistics for us of who's listening to our episodes, what kind of people, everything like that. So let me see here. Let me just bring up the statistics real quick. Jesus, I can't speak. Real quick here because I thought this was super interesting. So total downloads, we're at just under 2,000 for those, which is not bad at all. I'll take that. But where is it? Oh, listener locations. So this is the interesting one for me. Listener locations. Obviously, major percentage is coming from the United States, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you guys think is in second place for location that has listened to this podcast the most?
India.
All time. False.
California?
Nope. No, it's country.
Oh, country.
Country. Yep.
Wait, is California not a country? Ireland?
We have 19 total countries that currently stream us consistently.
I'm going to go Ireland.
19 countries.
China
is quite a ways down, actually. You ready? Japan. Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Number 2 on the list.
Really?
Yep.
Jesus.
Canada's number 3, then Australia. We've got Italy, Turkey, India, Nigeria, Spain, South Africa, just Afghanistan, like a bunch of countries that I would have never expected this to go into. It's just so crazy. We're 19 countries that people listen to us in, and it's consistent listeners.
Yeah.
It's just blows my mind.
That is super fucking cool. The only thing that I hope with like the external listeners and everything else, I mean, like if that's a crazy concept to try and fathom, is that somebody else somewhere in a totally different world, is taking the time to listen to us. Is I just really hope that if they're trying to learn English, they're not using us as a reference.
Yeah. Oh Jesus,
that
we
would
are
be a really bad idea.
Yeah, it's not good.
Hey, we're teaching you the real stuff, so listen to us.
Yeah,
English.
yeah, we're teaching you the lingo. So what else do I have here?
No, that's seriously cool. I'm honored, man.
Yeah,
like, that's
blew me away.
That's wild.
So out of all episodes, top app that we are currently being listened to on is Spotify still to this day. Top device actually just changed. It's 41% for Apple now. Wow. It used to be Samsung, but now it's Android, but now it's Apple. Let's see, what else do we have here? Most of our downloads, like 1,400 of our downloads, come from mobile. The rest come from computer.
It is crazy that we have 1,400 downloads.
We do have a couple downloads on the Apple Watch.
Hey.
36 downloads through the watch.
I didn't even know that you could download shit on Apple Watches.
Or like a preset.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, like I said, we're just shy of 2,000 total all-time downloads.
Jesus, that's fucking awesome.
The last 90 days have been 360 downloads.
You guys are too bored. Pick up a hobby.
Yeah, you guys are bored as shit.
This is a hobby.
73 subscribers on our YouTube and growing. Over 1,000 views, I think, on total for well over 1,000 for total views on our on our YouTube. Facebook page is at 631 as of today. 631. Road to 1K. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's.
I mean, they're so. It's weird because they're small numbers in comparative to if you were to put them in comparative to any other shows on YouTube and stuff like that. Like it is such a small margin, but for us, it's
exponential.
We started at like nothing, and this I would have never thought we'd have 73 subscribers on a YouTube channel with consistent views and consistent people watching our show. Like I just would never have thought that. Yeah. So it's just it blows my mind. It seems like such a small number, but it's 73 people watching us
consistently.
That's more people than probably the county, like the portion of the county that we live in. They're like in the vicinity.
In this vicinity?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Close to, yeah.
It'd be close.
That's
to,
essentially
it'd be
all of
close
our
to
neighbors.
this. Yeah, it'd be, yeah,
That's
it'd
crazy. That's absolutely fucking insane.
It's more people than are currently employed at my place of business
Yeah. Well,
by
yeah.
like
50 people.
By like 50.
no, I don't mean currently. Sorry, I should say like that are employed through
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So out of all the people that are employed through us, still, our subscribers beat that by quite a bit.
That's nuts.
So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
We
that is
appreciate all of you
seriously
so
fucking cool.
much. I guess we'll cut it out here
Yeah.
for now because we got to go do our live episode, the fun stuff too.
Well, guys, do us a favor for our 100th episode and be sure to like and subscribe and share our stuff
Leave
through
a
all your
comment,
friends.
please leave a comment.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
like to hear what you guys have to say.
Yep.
So.
And then obviously make sure go to patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. That's where you get all the fun extra stuff. Check out our merch. We've got the merch channel. It's in our description. All right. You can get a mug with our mugs on it. You can get t-shirts. You can get hoodies. You can get socks. You can get underwear. You can get everything. Anything and everything. We're going to be coming out with some new stuff soon, hopefully, as well. The hashtag Sorry Jake's Mom collection. Not even hashtag. It's just the Sorry Jake's Mom collection. So, yeah, be on the lookout for new stuff there. Like and subscribe on our YouTube. Like us on Facebook as well. Share the shit out of everything for us. Help us out. If you haven't yet, go on our Spotify and iTunes and help, go follow those. You don't even have to listen to episodes. Just follow it up. You know what I mean? Just follow. Just click that little button right there.
Just
do it. But yeah, thank you guys very, 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 very much. 1 whole year down,
Dude.
many years to come.
Many.
And yeah, let's just keep growing this goddamn thing already. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
do it.
Anything else you guys
Okay.
want to say?
No.
All right, guys. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you
Wash
next
your
week.
fucking
Good
hands.
afternoon,
Wash
good
your
morning,
hands.
and good night.
Yeah, wash your...
Don't drop your gloves, you dirty fuck.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
And wash your butt.
We're looking
Yeah,
at you,
wash your
Tim.
butt. It's not gay. Wash
Yeah,
your butt.
Wash your butt.
Need to. Crusty ass fuck.
Adios, guys. Have a great week.
Be
Bye.
safe.